G'day listeners and welcome back to another episode of the Keeper League podcast. We're the AFL fantasy podcast that doesn't talk about the superstars. We only talk about the lesser knowns and the players who are going to bring value to your draft and Keeper League teams. My name is Heff and here with me today is the commissioner of the DT Shiva, also the host of the Shiva Blast podcast, Damon Adams. How are you, mate? Welcome back to the studio.
Heff, you're beautiful, man. Every time I come in here, there's just something extra. A new bell, a new whistle, and having the logo up behind me. Yeah, this is what I like.
You're right. There always is something new. I can't help myself. I always have to get like a new toy or something to play with. Yeah, I am. And there's always something in here that I need to get, or I can probably think of 5 things off the top of my head that I need to do to this place to make it better. But no one would really know if I did it in the first place.
The drapery. Yeah,
something like that. Drapery, something like that. Probably more acoustic baffling probably needs, even though no one sees it or can probably notice the difference on the camera.
There's certainly the change, the evolution of the Heff studio over the last couple of years has been impressive.
Yeah, well, we've got another podcast recording in here at the moment, potentially another one in the works as well. So, it's more of a professional studio. That's more
busy
residence
life
now.
Of a freelancer, mate.
That's it. Trying to keep busy at the moment, so it's going pretty well. What's been happening since the last time I spoke to you?
Mate, Shiva is just the mountainous thing that it is, keeps moving on. We had the song contest. Now, for those who aren't involved in Shiva, every year, and it used to be a highlight of the buys because we got bored because we didn't play them, we would have a song contest where we would encourage our coaches to create a song with something to do with fantasy football or football in general. We usually get 20 to 25 entries. The winner wins their fees off for next year. We use it as a fundraiser as well this year for Lifeline. Last year, Heff, you came second.
I did.
With a brilliant tune about Jake Lloyd.
Yep, who I've since brought back from the dead this year, but that's not the point.
And he's having a good run at the moment.
And I spat the dummy because I came second and didn't enter one this year. So
you didn't enter this year. Was there any workings? Was there anything behind the scenes, or are you just still emotional from last year?
Nah, there's nothing to do with being emotional from last year. In all honesty, I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts this year because I've been commuting to and from work every day. So it's like an hour out. So I've just pretty much come straight to here. I'm at work. So I forgot about it because I missed a few episodes of The Blast. And then just nothing I had about a week when I remembered it. And then nothing could come to me. I had a few ideas,
you gotta have a moment
a few
of
bits and pieces.
Right?
I had a few choruses, but I couldn't come up with verses. I couldn't think of anything. I hit what they call it writer's block.
Yes.
And I just couldn't come up with anything. Yeah. So decided to leave it for another year, maybe workshop the ideas I had over the next 12 months and come back strong next year.
We've had some of the biggest winners over the last couple of years all sit this year out, but there were still some brilliant ones. If you are interested in fantasy footy songs, I mean, Heff has done some in the past. Of course, the history of DOS doing some great songs. Get along and search Shiva Blast and you can check out the finals over the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome little initiative, and especially with raise money and stuff like that as you go about it. So no, it's good fun. But yeah, apologies for not entering this year. I feel real bad about it.
None needed. How is your Shiva year going?
Well, this is the thing. I've been meaning to get on the speak pipe lately because I reckon early on in the season, maybe around 3 or 4, I was copping a little bit from the Shiva host about how bad my team was. I think I was one of the lowest scoring teams in the whole competition.
Mate, I'm the commissioner. I've been shit out this year. So
well, anyway, I'm third in Div 24, I think we are this year.
Okay, so you've rallied.
So, and I'm one win off top, I reckon, at the moment. And I've won about 6 or 7 in a row.
And avoided the bullets over this round?
At the moment, yeah. The thing is, I took bullets early. So I started with Flanders, I started with Bont. There was another injury. Finn Callahan was in there.
Yeah.
I took a lot of injured players. Charlie Kerno, I took guys I knew that would be missing round 1, 2, 3 type thing. And that's hence why the score was reflected poorly. But it meant I could get like Bont in like the 4th round and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of the way it's worked for me. So it hasn't gone too poorly. Like I'm pretty happy with it at the moment.
There you go, right in the mix. So Shiva finals, I think we've got 2 weeks to go. We play a 3 weeks final series. We're wrapping in round 23. But yeah, like now thoughts go towards next year and kind of building the brand even further and just looking at, I mean, you are such a community for keeper leagues. We want to be that for redraft leagues and seeing how that, works for everyone as well and just, kind of building our offering.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's the community aspect of fantasy is what's the best thing about fantasy, to be honest. So no, it's good that you guys implement that and get it going and create something out there for people that might not have a league or whatever, or the instant go-to out there. The Shiva's always there for everyone to play, so it's great to have.
Come along next year. If you in interested in it, dtshiva.com.au, or just search us on Facebook. There's plenty of stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. All right, I've got a few trades I've got to break down with you. So I've made 3 massive trades in the home league this week, and I need to tell you all about them. So if you haven't been following...
Where are you in the home league?
3rd at the moment.
Okay.
Most points scored. Had some awful luck over the buys that have kind of... I'm a half a game off second and I think a game off top.
Okay.
Awful luck in the buys, like a 1-point loss when I was the favourite with a free kick in the last minute, my last minute of the game.
But week by week,
that sort of stuff.
Now that we're out of the buys, you're like a hot chance.
Yeah, hot chance. Even though I did lose to a guy who had a donut last week, but let's not get into that. He just had some massive scores. But anyway, so... A few things have happened. So obviously, first thing is I had Joel Frazier on my bench. I couldn't get him on the field, averaging too poorly over the last few weeks playing. And I knew he had some capital. We play an under 50 rule as well, so you can keep an extra player who's under 50 games.
Love it.
And there's a player that needed him, so I actually offloaded him for a 2-for-1 type deal for Sam Doherty and Jack Graham. So that was all right until Sunday, until the news about Graham came out. This was last Tuesday it happened.
When are the finals on the home league?
Well, Graham will be back by it. So,
okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah, we played the last 3 weeks. He's already missed 1. He's got 3 to go and then final start. So
I don't think Frazier's too much to give away for something like that. Obviously, you've got the rule, but you're bringing in scorers. I mean, Jack Graham, when he's been playing and not saying naughty things to people, like he's been a worthy starter. So
yeah.
I like it.
280+ scorers, I figure, bringing them in. And hopefully that goes all right from there. But then, so that's probably the next thing. Then I had Jai Caldwell.
Yep.
Got injured, left a massive hole in my midfield. The next best player, I think, was probably going to be Massimo D'Ambrosio. So it's like a 30-point drop off.
Massive.
Yeah.
And, and his floor has been awful this year, Massimo.
Yeah, correct. And because I'm in contention, I needed to do something with it, I guess. So, I ended up doing a bit of a monster trade with the guy who's second and bottom. I traded Jai Caldwell, Brent Daniels, and Jace Burgoyne, and a round 2 pick for next season.
Yeah, okay.
Got back Dane Zorko, Tom Liberatore, Jeremy Cameron, and I think a round 10 pick.
I love it. I love it. Zorko's already said that he's got another year in him.
Yeah.
So, he'll keep that defensive status. He is just
he's kicking so good. I can't see him dropping off because they want the ball in his hands. Yeah, exactly.
He's not the guy you're going to tag out of Brisbane's team.
Yeah.
I love that. And Libba is just an evergreen as well.
Yeah, correct.
Always at the coalface. Adam Treloar's nowhere to be seen this year, so he's not getting kicked out of that midfield for anyone.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that's my...
Brent Daniels hasn't seen the football this year.
Yeah, correct. So it kind of works out well for him as well because he's got to get rid of 3 guys that are, in their mid to, they're 33, I think is Jeremy Cameron's 32, 33. He's probably the youngest out of those. So gets rid of 3 blokes that are going to be retiring for him. He's second to bottom and he gets 3 kind of younger players in.
Was Cameron a little lame on the weekend? Did he?
He hurt his groin in a contest though. So I don't know if it was a muscle or it was weird. He got tackled out of the ground and then pulled up sore after that.
Yeah, he didn't look 100%. So fingers crossed that he comes out. They didn't sub him out,
so hopefully he must have been okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he was they were pretty well beaten as well. So maybe this wasn't trying as hard. But anyway,
how do you live for the league reactions when those things drop? How is everyone else feeling about those trades?
Because there's been a few that others have perceived to be lopsided. For example, I traded Leo Lombard out, got Jake Lloyd in.
Yep.
And so it was pretty much a 0 for an 80, and everyone kind of got really mad about that one. But this one, no one really cared about. Everyone's like, it's pretty fair. It's a good deal for both. It's not too bad.
Any other trades?
Well, this is the big one that happened yesterday, really. Happened overnight. So Tristan Cherry, I've got him as my ruck, and I don't have backup. Oh, I lie. I have Goldstein as backup, but that's still pretty shaky.
That's a 30-point drop.
Yeah, but also gets rested every few weeks as well. I need to win every game to make finals. To finish top 2 to get the double chance type thing.
So you can't have this suspension dragging you down.
I can't have it. So last night out of the blue, I just got offered by one of their league mates, Grundy and Laddams, for Cherry and Goldstein. So
I love it for both sides because the person, the Grundy owner, is seeing the opportunity.
Yeah.
Sherry is 25?
20. I think he'll be 27 next year, so 26 at the moment.
Mid-20s. Yeah, so he's got a good 6 years in
ruck years, he's a baby.
Grundy's 30, 29, 30?
Yeah, 31, I reckon.
Okay, so you're buying yourself 6 years. We know Sherry's output, but he's gone for now, and Grundy's on a tear.
Yeah.
I do love it.
And the other thing as well, if Cherry does get 4 later today or tomorrow, whenever the tribunal meets or whatever, that means he's missing week 1 of the finals as well. If I don't secure double chance and he's missing week 1, I could be eliminated week 1, you know?
With the asset that is Sherry, did you try to angle for like a pick in there?
Because I know the coach I'm dealing with as well. Like,
You're looking at gift horse.
I was pretty lucky to get this deal, I think, as well, knowing how hard he is to deal with in the
That's
past.
great.
So
it's balls on the line. That's what you're going to do.
So the idea is like I just could not handle not having a ruck first week of finals. Plus, it also cost me the double chance. So
did you look at Grundy's run coming up?
Yeah, I did, and it's a lot nicer than Cherry's as well. So yeah, finishes with West Coast as well. Also comes up against North this week, who don't have a ruck. So like good straight up captaincy on that sort of stuff.
I love it. Yeah. Big week of trading for you. I want to talk just briefly about trades as well.
Sorry, can I just add one more thing onto that?
Oh, you're still working.
Sorry, there's one extra thing onto that. So the other thing with this trade is if I didn't get a backup ruck or get another ruck, I would have had to take one in the mid-season draft. All right, so I would have had to take Vigo Vicentini.
Which is happening right now.
I think, it's on right now. The draft's going. I would have had to have taken Vigo Vicentini, so I've got backup for, just so I got that handcuff for Goldstein, right? Yeah. But because I traded in Adams along with Grundy, I don't need the backup anymore. So
it leaves you free to pick up another player.
I did another wheeling deal where I ended up just trading a bunch of picks for next year. Sorry, one pick for next year, and another pick in this mid-season draft, and a player that means nothing to me, like absolute steak knives. And got pick 1 in the mid-season draft, which means I can pick up Jack Martin as a forward to kind of cover for Graham for the next 3 weeks.
Is everyone else in this league like wheeling and dealing as much as this?
Well, I think because I'm the full-time fantasy player now / podcaster now, I've probably got a bit more time to get deals out and stuff like that. So plus I'm right in contention. So
do you do time blocking along the way? Like I've got this 45 minutes to figure out some trades.
I do a little bit actually. I'll write down all the stuff I've got to do in the day, and sometimes that's part of it. So anyway. It ended up me being like having to go with Goldstein and taking Vigo to now I've got Grundy and I've also got Jack Martin in my forward line. So it's added so many points to my team.
What if Sherry gets off?
Yeah, then I've lost out, I reckon. But it's not. It's actually probably not. Like I want the flag. My team's average age is like 29 or something like that. So
Grundy is scoring better than Sherry at the moment.
Yeah, correct. And his run's nicer. And yeah, like I said, like I don't really need in 4 years' time, my team's going to be falling off a cliff anyway. So I don't really need Cherry. Surely I can turn all these assets I got now into a good ruck for the future in the next 3-4 years anyway. That's the way I look at it.
See, I'm a firm believer in if you are a shot to win the grand final or win the premiership in a tricky league and you've got young assets, sending them out to get some actual scoring power in, I think is well worth it every time.
Yeah,
you don't know what, you could be in a great position in another year and just get struck down by Setterfield and Martin and Took Miller and all these things. Like you've got to have a lot of luck put together to win a fancy premiership.
Yeah, no, I agree. So hopefully that's the plan and that comes out that way. But you want to talk a bit of trade ethics before we get into the round review?
I love ethically grey areas in fantasy football, and like as the commissioner of Shiva, like you see bits and pieces, and what one person sees as a vetoable trade, everyone else will say no, that's completely fair. And there is a lot of byplay in trying to hoodwink someone into doing something stupid. But where do you sit on this? So a coach has come to me on the weekend and said, I've just accepted this trade, but the other coach offered me Nick Martin and another player for these good players, and I just watched Nick Martin do an ACL in front of my eyes, and then I clicked accepted on the trade. Ooh. So he gets to offload Nick Martin in a trade that's sitting there, offered to him. He gets the other players in and would have probably lost out initially, but as soon as the ACL happens, and mind you, this is a redraft league as well.
Yeah.
It's well within the rules of Shiva, but it's absolutely in the morally grey area.
Oh, 100%. I feel the onus is on the person. Like every time I do something like that and something happens, I'll rush to my app knowing that I've got a trade there and cancel it.
Get it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, I don't know. Like, I would not leave a trade. Usually I wouldn't even leave a trade sitting there over the round just in case something like that happens.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's two sides to it. And I think, yes, maybe there's a morally grey area there, but there's also a responsibility by the coaches involved to keep on top of that, administer their own teams, administer their own trades and stuff like that as well. So
as the commissioner, I've waved the green flag and I'm letting it through. And it is up to the coach to get rid of their trade offers, but it certainly sits in that morally grey area. It's a fascinating one, and people have been on both sides of the fence, but it plays.
Yeah, 100%. No, I don't mind. I'd let it slide, but like I said, be vigilant in what you're letting sit there and all that sort of stuff.
It's a great lesson for all your fantasy coaches. If you are someone who just sends out bulk trade offers, you've got to get rid of them over the round.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I just knowing like myself, it wouldn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't allow it to happen. So maybe the coach that happened to should take a leaf out of the book, learn for the future.
Valuable.
Don't
lesson.
leave your trades sitting there over a weekend when anything could happen. Just cancel them, reconvene on Monday, and talk about it then via the group chat. Anyways, we're 15 minutes in. We haven't talked about the round yet. Let's get through it. Start with the Carlton versus Brisbane. Lockie Cowan scored 80 points on the weekend. That's back-to-back good scores. Can I just remind everyone that he was my boy very early.
You're still claiming?
Right from the draft year. He was one of my favourites, just like the role he played as a junior. I think he won one of the medals. It was either the TAC Cup one or the under-18 champs one. I can't remember, but he was quite a good performer back then. He's a Tassie boy. He plays just a good rebounding role off the half-back, taking kick-ins for Carlton. He was the number 3 most claimed player on Shiva this week, I reckon. So
there you go.
I got him last week as well. It's
Love that.
In the keeper, platform, but I got him last week in Shiva. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on Cowan?
Oh, listen, it's certainly when players get into a purple patch, you certainly want to ride that wave as much as possible. He has had some horrendous floor games this year. Now, that I'm not sure if they're actually sub-best affected, but that certainly has been within his game. But, back-to-back 80s, hopefully he can see out the year. I mean, Carlton now just need to play their young players.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think at least one of them was injury affected, I reckon. I'm just going to have a look here what it was.
In his history, there's a 10, a 23, and a 36.
Yeah, there's 2 injury affected here. And I think round 1 he put up a good one. And then round 3 and 4 were shockers. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then subbed out, subbed in, started the sub, and then injured from then on. But,
Didn't get a good run.
No, I think so as well. I think there's a question later on. We might leave it for that, but there's a factor that might come into play later on. But we'll get into the next one. Zach Bailey, 89 points, just playing further up the ground this season, up on the wing. I think he should keep forward status though. There's lots of rotations through the wing, through the midfield at Brisbane. Like we've already seen Levi Ashcroft get forward status. He rotates to the wing. Bailey kind of goes up, all that sort of stuff. So I think he's just probably in line to keep forward status. So there was a quote from Lockie Neal, I think it was, saying that if this guy applies himself like he did this preseason, apparently he just has never taken preseason seriously, come back pretty poorly, all that sort of stuff. But this year did all the right things. He'll be a star of the competition. He's starting to look like it now as well, like taking his footy a bit more seriously. Maybe, did he miss out on the flag last year? Was he injured?
Oh, was he in that game? I remember that awesome goal that he kicked, but he got injured. Grand final?
No, that wrong grand final. He was the free kick against in the grand final previously, and I think last year he missed the elimination. He got injured in the elimination final.
Poor bastard.
And missed the grand final.
Just a note on Zach Bailey, he currently has a 1-game suspension offered to him, but he is challenging that at the tribunal, so it'd be interesting to watch that this week.
Actually, that is the lie. That's Lockie Cowan's thing I was looking at there. That's for the elimination final. Zach Bailey, though, did he miss the grand final? That's probably not. It's probably irrelevant, but he did get injured round 19. That's right, against Carlton. So, missed the grand final. So I think just coming back hungry, he's trying to go, that extra mile, be a bit more professional, and it seems to be showing in his game at the moment. The other one is Cam Rayner. He had 85 points. I reckon he has a purple patch every time this time of year. Did it last year. Was back to scoring 50s by the time fantasy finals rolled around last year though as well.
I mean, Zach Bailey kind of fits within this mold as well. Berry fits within this mold. These guys that just do it for a couple of rounds and then will hurt you when it matters. Yeah. I can't trust Rayner.
No, neither. Yeah, don't care how well he scores for a 3-4 week period.
Yeah.
Probably it's back to too good for the podcast by now, but anyway, I just don't trust him at all. Let's go on to the Gold Coast Suns versus Collingwood. More so about individual players, more so the injury factors that come into this round. Took Miller, obviously, had a bit of hamstring awareness, perhaps. I don't know how bad it is.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so I haven't heard any reports yet, but it's more about who gets the bump in place of him if he is injured. Like Bailey Humphrey saw the biggest uptick in CBAs with him out in this game. But then Fiorini's playing some good football and he's starting to ramp up his CBAs as well.
Sam Flanders.
Yeah, exactly. He could be the other one in there.
It's been played well out of position as opposed to last year, this year, and maybe this is the perfect way to get him in.
Yeah. And then the other one is Leo Lombard, had a huge score in the VFL this week, BOG performance.
On the power of the fixture, they're coming to Adelaide to play the Crows, aren't they?
Yeah, Sunday afternoon.
I can't see Lombard getting a call for such an important game.
No, neither. I don't think they're trusting a rookie with that one. Maybe as the sub or something like that, but not. I don't think starting on the field. So it's going to come down to, I reckon, Flanders, Humphrey or Fiorini. To be honest, I think Humphrey just gets the bump, I reckon.
Yeah.
We saw it last week. Like, they could have thrown Flanders in there. Fiorini's kind of doing enough on the outside and just
He's been good.
Yeah, he's been great. There's another one I traded in as steak knives a few weeks ago, another trade, but we won't get to that one. So I think for my gut feel is Humphrey gets the bump out of those, but a big watch on Fiorini and Flanders, I think, as well.
I mean, even if it's just a slight uptick for Flanders, those owners are hungry.
Yeah, 100%. I got a message. I can't remember who it was in the Discord. They don't know who it is when I'm talking to them, when they hear it. But I got a message saying Joel Jeffrey is on track to break his 1-in-3 run. So I had this thing like he scores well every third week on the podcast. And he was on 40-something at halftime. So like, here's another 80. Here we go. Ended up on 68 points. I'm not counting that as to break the 1-in-3. So no good.
It's great.
The other one is Tom Mitchell.
Yes, Titch.
A lot to talk about with him, really, because he had the 91 points again. This is my concern with him. Does he hold his spot? Like, some of his kicks, like, I know that's not what he's there for, but geez, he kicks these big rainbow lollipops, and like Jamie Elliott's just like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Like, you can see it like in his face, like he's like trying to hit the leading target, and it goes nowhere near him.
You put a small forward, and then you're trying to put it on their head in their marking contest. It's just not working.
So like, I just don't know, and they lost the game as well. They had Pendlebury starting sub.
Yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't time to rest Pendlebury, they might have not have played Tom Mitchell, I think. I
mean, Titch doesn't seem to me the kind of guy that would start a sub and then come into the game. He just doesn't have that kind of leg speed.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him being named in the 22 and then being taken off if it's just not working out. So, it'll be really fascinating because people might get sucked in by the fact that he gets named again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. I don't trust him to play out the season. Like, I know he's changed his game, and that's the other thing. He's changed his game to not be a fantasy player as well. Like, he's the guy who will get 14 handballs and 5 kicks type thing.
Yeah.
And a heap of tackles in there that probably bumps the numbers up. But there'll be a game, where he doesn't get those tackle numbers or whatever, and he doesn't score that well. And I think he's just, like, Collingwood are going so well without him, really, and they're 50-50 with him now. So that's the other thing. And just still Sidebottom's been playing a lot more on the outside as well. And I think like maybe he's just having a bit of a load management time or ramping up or whatever. And I think once they get him back in the middle, it might push him out too. So
it's interesting as well because Titch is the perfect kind of loop player now.
Yeah.
But Collingwood don't have a Thursday or Friday night game again until round 22.
Yeah.
So you're really not going to have the opportunity to do that until then, and that's the only one they've got left.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing, and that's another thing I've been doing with like these mid-season drafts and stuff like that. Kind of going off on a tangent here, but is like looking at that sort of stuff in the fixture. We play we play lockouts, and Shiva plays lockout as well on Saturday. It's like when we do mid-season drafts, it's like looking at who's got Thursday, Friday night games that you can actually use as loopholes.
It's why Carlton and Essendon have been so valuable this year. I mean, I know
Western Bulldogs too. A lot of Thursdays.
Just as we get frustrated with them getting those fixtures, but for their fantasy players, it's excellent because there's a lot of scrubs getting games.
Exactly. Like I've been loving having Riley West. Just I think he's only popped one for me.
Yeah.
But he was just someone who's available on a why he plays every week and can kick 3-4 goals and score okay. So
he never needs to make you feel, but if he does score well that one week, I know Josh Dacos is too good for the podcast, and he hasn't been mentioned here for a long time. But I don't want to mention the holistic Josh Dacos. I just want to talk about fourth quarter Josh Dacos for a moment.
They're different people, aren't they?
Because if he does this 3 weeks in a row, fourth quarter Josh Dacos will be 2G for P because
he's individual separate player.
82 points last quarter, 16 disposals, 2 goals, 5 tackles.
Yeah.
It's just the most remarkable thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, he was crazy. The other thing is the week before he was like really frustrating in the opposite way. So
second highest fantasy scoring quarter of all time.
That's amazing. That's crazy. Well done, Josh Dacos.
Yeah. Just a quick tip of the cap.
Get out of here. You're too good for the podcast. Anyway, on to the Bulldogs versus Adelaide game. Not a lot to talk about for the Bulldogs. And I mentioned I traded Joel Frazier at the start of the game. Just kind of watching him closely to make sure I made the right decision. That his role at the moment, he's so forward a lot more.
There was a game, was it 3 weeks
Sydney
ago.
game.
Yeah, where he kicked 4 and looked amazing.
Scored 116.
And, all of it, the game clicked and you thought, this could be something, but the roll is terrible.
Thing is, though, I looked at the Code Sports time in position, whatever, and his centre bounce attendances, I think, have dropped right off. I was looking at the Code Sports time in position. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's gone from 25% a few weeks ago, 38%. It's gone from 9, 5, and 6% in the last 3 weeks. But the forward time is going up. So that's the thing. Come into the season, he may have enough. Oh, sorry, the Code Sport thing had him at like 33% time forward.
Yeah.
So he could be forward status next season.
Or you could even see that getting added to the platforms late.
Yeah. I think they might be done for keeper, but but next season, very good chance, I reckon, of starting as thing. So just something to keep in mind if you're a Joel Frazier owner and you are frustrated, you could have a pretty handy forward. And depending on injuries and age and all that sort of stuff, could be in the midfield a lot more next season.
Just needs to pop.
Exactly. And then for the Crows, Dan Curtin, I think he's
so good.
Probably too good for the podcast now. He hasn't done the auto qualification, but I looked at his ownership and I think it's up to 90% on keeper at the moment. So
you'd be so happy.
Yeah, exactly. So the only thing I worry about, and I'm going to probably worry about this for the next, until he's like a 5-6 year player and I'm confident in it, is he's just so good at playing like, a loose defender role or just that third forward role and just taking a really important mark inside 50 and stuff like that.
Justin Westhoff.
Exactly. And like that's the kind of thing I'm thinking, like, when Tex retires, do they keep him closer to home a bit more? Or that's the only thing I'm kind of concerned with, like that sort of stuff.
There's been such criticism about the height of Adelaide's forward line this year. Not that it's been a knock on them.
Yeah, it's working.
That's right. It is working. Watching Curtin float back for some contested marks this week, he's just got the body size, but he moves. He's so agile on the field.
Yeah.
I'd be excited as an owner.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I just think he's very valuable as a taller marking player, which doesn't always translate to great fantasy scoring, as opposed to a guy starting on the wing and just roaming everywhere. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far.
Bloody Crows.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it's a lot of Crows bias, anti-Crows bias in there, I think, as well. I just don't want him to be good. And GWS Giants versus Geelong. The only one that really popped up in this game was Aaron Cadman with 104 points. I got asked a question this week on the Instagram. I really should write down who asked me these questions. Apologies for whoever asked this with me. But who would you keep out of Cadman, Sardis, and Perkins now? So that's the final keeper spot.
God.
And to be honest, I think Cadman's almost... It's going to be like the good thing about Sardis and maybe even Perkins now is like there's so many injuries at Essendon. You might get a good look at him for the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
And you'll be able to make a decision there. But at the moment, on current form, I think you have to go Cadman, don't you?
I mean, what's the general rule, right? Unless you're playing specific rules, key forwards are generally no good in fantasy.
That's it.
Cadman's, that's his second 100 score of the year, but he will still have the awful floor games, as a lot of key forwards do.
But so does Sardis.
So does Sardis. Sardis and Perkins. I mean, it's a pretty sorry lineup. I don't rate either of those two either, but while Cadman is having an absolute moment, I don't think it means that he's going to be an all-time fantasy scorer.
I still think, neither do I, but I still think he could be a 70 to 80 type guy when he's up and running. He could be like that Charlie Curnow mould. He could be maybe not Jez Cameron kind of mould, but maybe a guy who can go close to 80s most year.
He doesn't look that mobile roaming type though, does he?
Nah. And then, like, Sardis Perkins, like they even in the best 22, and then you've got a guy with forward status who'll get you at least 70 type thing.
Yeah.
So,
you're permanent forward when that line is often awful.
I'd rather have like an awesome key forward than a bad midfielder, I reckon. So that's probably the way I'd look at it. But then the Geelong matchups also have been really easy for key forwards as well. So they don't really have.
What's he got coming up? He's got the Dons next week.
Yes, that should be a big one.
Don Swans, Bulldogs. Yeah, this week is good.
Yeah. So that's the only one really to talk about from that game. The Richmond Essendon game. Thank goodness I only watched the first quarter of this.
I was in and out of this game. I just couldn't.
Yeah, it sounded like a shocker. I'm glad I didn't see it. And usually like they're good for fantasy as well, but like there's so much carnage in this one as well. So it was like a pretty hard watch. The only few things I want to talk about is Tom Brown. He had 99 points.
11 marks.
11 marks, yeah. So not a lot of goals kicked. So there's just a lot of kind of chopping off here and there, that sort of stuff as well. So, but he plays the right sort of game for fantasy, I guess. Like he's that kind of halfback kind of type. So he's maybe one to watch for the future. There's a lot of good Richmond players coming through that will take some time though. Jack Ross scored 87 points. Kays wanted me to trade him for Joel Frazier. He wanted Jack Ross, Joel Frazier for Jack Ross. So I didn't say yes to that one. I didn't see the game, but apparently he was just tagging Merritt. So I think he can be a handy F5 type. He's just too inconsistent, I think, to trust each week. That's the only problem with him.
Can I just bring up Taj Houghton?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it was his first game out, and he only scored 50, 60 odd for the game, but his first quarter was
the 20-point first quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah, like he was there. He was in and around the ball. I'm excited to see him come on. Obviously, his junior fantasy numbers were awesome. He came in with the ACL this year, and so it's been a while. A
lot of hype as well, which has been
a lot of hype as well. But 23-point first quarter. He had up to 41 at halftime and faded, but I'm excited to see where he gets to.
Big Kev.
Big Heff.
I don't remember the Big Kev I'm excited adverts. They're a bit...
Oh, I'm excited.
There you go. Ben Hobbs, the next one I want to talk about. 82 points. He's getting more opportunity a bit higher up the ground. The only thing is he's done his groin now, apparently.
Oh, is he injured as well?
Yeah, apparently out for 2.
Unbelievable.
Hold on, this was on the Discord. I don't know if people were like...
if he's gone down as well, who gets a game this week?
That's what I mean.
The Dylan Shield farewell tour.
Injury, Setterfield in line to return. Hobbs to miss as well. Hobbs is now expected to miss the next 2 to 3 weeks with a calf strain. So I thought it was a groin.
Well, you've got Setterfield out with the Liz Frank, so he could be out for
out for
well
season
into next year.
Yeah. So
obviously the Nick Martin ACL. Who are they going to roll out?
So I think that's what I was talking about before. I think you do get your Sardis. You'd probably get your Archie Perkins in.
You're never going to get a better look at them.
Yeah, no, they say it. So you're probably going to get that now as well. I do think Durham probably gets a bit of a bump as well.
If Sheila's there, take Sheila.
And I've put in a claim for Sheila this week as well.
Why not?
I had him in the Waiver Wire podcast as well for the members this morning. So yeah, that's there for you as well. But and then you've got Martin injured as well. So there's I'm just hoping we get a good look at some of these kind of kids now, or just guys that weren't getting opportunity.
Ben Hobbs, I was so excited about him as a junior, and even in his first couple of years.
I was filthy Port took Josh Sin over him.
Yeah,
and
so filthy. Held such a flame. Yeah. But now I watch him and just think, you do nothing for me. Nothing.
Sorry, just having to swig my beer. We are having a Monday beer, which is tradition when we do the podcast together. So I'm with you. Like when he's finally starting to show something, and then just does this. It's just not fair. Anyways, we'll move on to the much better game of the round, which was the Fremantle versus Hawthorn at the same time.
It was a good game.
I've said this a million times, and I'm a broken record here, but how annoying is it when there's 2 games on starting at alternative times, but then you switch over at quarter time and it's half time in the other game?
Oh my God, they break at the same time. Stop it. Yeah.
And so you get
start at 10 minutes earlier or later.
Or just, maybe even just don't make sure the breaks don't coincide somehow. I don't know. It's just that little bit annoying. It's I could switch over and watch it. It's quarter time one game, but then it's half time in the other game, so there's nothing there. And then by the time you get to the other one, it's
KO also needs a button to just be able to swap to the other game of football.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to have to go into the live stuff.
Yeah, definitely. You can go. There is one way to do it, but it's annoying and it's still clunky. But anyway, let's just fix that as well. AFL, we'll fix the scheduling. Fremantle versus Hawthorn is the next. We talked about that one. Corey Wagner is the player I want to talk about on this one. 85 points. He's on the 2G4P bubble again. He's doing so many different roles. He started halfback in the year, then he's kind of gone forward. Then he works into the midfield and tagging kind of roles as well. So he's just one to watch. I wouldn't, if you had to field him as a D5 at the moment, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, I don't think.
Particularly with the injuries starting to pile up.
Yeah. But there's not a lot to talk about from the Hawthorn perspective there at the moment. The only thing is as well, they're giving up quite a few fantasy points at the moment because St Kilda had 6 tons against them the week before, and I think Freo had quite a few as well. Andrew Brayshaw put up 138 and then did the interview with blood pissing out of his head, which was
amazing.
I could not believe it.
It had an open head wound.
I just don't know why they did it. It's such a weird decision. Just let him go get patched up.
And then she didn't even speed it up.
Yeah, grab Caleb.
She talked about, oh, mate, if you're feeling dizzy, let's call this. No, call it now.
Yeah, definitely. Just let him go. But anyway, he's too polite.
I mean, he stayed out for all the post stuff after that anyway, so it's not like he rushed off.
It was a good HIA test, I reckon, because there's no way he's missing next week because he was too coherent in the interview.
Although keeper does list him as out at the moment.
Yeah, I did see that. Fix that up, Ryan. Anyways, I think it's because he came off at the end of the game. Yeah. That's why. And the feed probably does that.
The trigger.
Yeah. Melbourne versus North Melbourne on the Sunday, the game where I lost Tristan Cherry for good. But anyway, Bailey Fritsch, tip of the cap. There's just tips of the caps for Melbourne mostly. Bailey Fritsch, 91 points with 3 goals. Jake Melksham with 5 goals.
Having a moment, Jakey Melksham.
I think he was almost injured at one stage. He kind of rose from the dead. So, but yeah, a few tips of the caps there. You're not kicking bags of goals. You're not playing North Melbourne each week.
Mate, he's done it 3 weeks in a row as Jakey Melksham.
True, but I think they've been good matchups they have,
Yeah, I know. He keeps standing up.
Yeah, you're right. He has popped up a few times. Harvey Langford has just got, good to see him put up a good score as a draftee. And again, it's only against North Melbourne, but it just needs more time and he'll be a good player. What are your thoughts on Cooper Harvey? Most requested on the keeper platform this week.
Yeah, I don't know. He's bobbed up. He's found this kind of small forward role where he's, getting the scoring. I like the cut-offs to his proud little dad.
yeah.
I don't know.
Cute little Instagram post as well from his dad this week.
I picked him up in a couple of keeper leagues really late in his initial draft year. And, I mean, it's taken a while to come on, but hey, if he's out there scoring, give him a shot.
Yeah, no, I think so. Did score 3 goals in the last quarter when the game was kind of done as well. So there's a bit of junk in there. Still think it's probably a tip of the cap for now, but he's definitely on the watch list. And I think he did just go, the draft's almost finished. He did just go at pick 5 in our mid-season after Harry Rouston and before Tyrell Dewar. So
I don't see it continuing, but it's lovely for the Harvey family.
Someone's just picked up Devon Robertson. That's ambitious. He did have a big VFL score, but
gonna need a few injuries.
Yeah, I think so. On to the next one. Will Phillips, 71 points. He had 23 CBAs. So I had a look at this today. I didn't see the game. I was at on the way to the Port game.
Yeah,
and in the kids zone because it was that kids round or whatever it was.
There was.
So I had to,
there was a lot of kids out there yesterday.
Had Alf tagging along with my son, tagging along with me. So, but anyway, so I didn't really see the game. But I did notice that there was a real tight 3 midfield rotation yesterday with Parker, Phillips, and who was the other one in there? Can't remember.
Would have been Jai Simpkin.
It wasn't Jai Simpkin. He was -6. He was the biggest drop-off of the week of centre bounce attendances.
Far out.
There's an obvious one in there that we're missing. Powell. Powell's the other one. And they pretty much just ran with those 3 all day. So I think he's just getting all of Wardlaw's midfield time at the moment.
Interesting.
Listed as a forward. Put up to 70. I think he had to come off for a bit as well, missed blood rule or something, had to patch himself up or something.
Is Will Phillips even contracted beyond this year?
Don't think so.
Yeah, that's going to be really fascinating because you wonder if Clarkson is literally just going to see, hey, mate, you get a couple rounds.
Here's your chance to win a contract type
exactly.
thing. And I think that might be happening. So he's got forward status as well. So it's could see a few 70s and maybe even an 80 if he really gets going over the next few weeks and could be a sneaky forward pickup.
You love to see a guy fighting for a contract. Yeah.
A bit of discussion about who replaces Tristan Cherry. So I've been looking.
CCJ.
Yes, I've been looking at the VFL, and for a long time it was Goad. Is it Taylor Goad or Tyler Goad? I think it's Taylor. Taylor.
Yeah.
Goad. Goat. But anyway, and it was Bryn Teakle for a long time.
Yeah, is Bryn Teakle still on the list?
Well, since Coleman Jones came back, it's been those two pretty much with the lion's share of the hitouts in the VFL. Go just still to me looks way too small to play AFL. They're coming up against Brodie Grundy this week, peak Brodie Grundy as well. So do they bring in a Coleman Jones? And if that's the case, that could be a sneaky waiver pickup stream as a forward.
I'm sure a lot of Cherry owners are looking very closely at that.
Yeah. The thing, he doesn't have ruck status, so you can't replace him. So he's forward only, Coleman Jones, because he only played as a key forward last year before he got injured. So that makes it tricky, So, but might be a sneaky forward player if you need a forward. But the other thing when Cherry went down with his concussion faux concussion, whatever it was, a few weeks ago, they just ran with Finbar Maley. Is it Will Dawson or Callan Dawson? Can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
And Darling was out, but they also use him. And they could just run with a combo, you know what I mean?
If Sherry's out, you've got to think that they're going to bring in someone a bit more substantial into that role.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to run with Finbar the whole game.
Yeah. Well, the only sole ruck that they've got, who is an actual ruckman, is Goad. But he's just so skinny. I just don't know they'll roll with him.
I can't believe Bryn Teagle's still on the list.
Yeah. No, he got picked up in the mid-season. They kept him for this season. But I don't think he's. I don't
played
think
17 games AFL. Did we play him that much?
Yeah, I know he played quite a bit. He played every game for North at the end after getting drafted last year.
There you go.
As well. So yeah, I don't know. I personally think Coleman Jones comes in.
One to watch.
And I think he could put up some.
Forward only is such a pain.
It's more the stream. Like, you could get a forward there that gets a few 70s over the last few rounds, So, yeah, have a think about that one. St Kilda versus Sydney. Again, also missed this one being at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
I got, there was a PlayStation 5 set up at Adelaide Oval yesterday to play AFL 26. And it was Port Adelaide versus Port Adelaide, one on the Prison Bar, one in the Chevron, the V's. And yes, I was playing a lot of AFL 26 with my son when this was happening.
I haven't had a chance to play.
I couldn't even work it. I couldn't work out the buttons. I couldn't work out how to mark it. So, but now he wants it for his birthday, so now I have to fork out for it.
I mean, that game actually does seem interesting, but I see that there's some Adelaide developers making
Pro-Jank.
Making an NBA Jam style AFL game, and Broden Kelly is doing the commentary for it.
Yeah,
sounds amazing.
It looks sick. Have
you played it?
No, I haven't played it. So like one of my good mates used to work with those guys on Danger 5, I think was their TV show. Used to work on that TV show with them. So I'm kind of loosely connected to that kind of world.
That's exciting to me.
There might be a few opportunities with this podcast and getting to play it and stuff and streaming and things like that with it as well. So it could be good fun, but we'll have to wait and see what the go is there. But I know that ProJank is aware of this podcast and they said they'll be in touch when it comes out to maybe sort something out.
I believe it's not launching until next year, but that is one to watch for AFL fans.
Should be good fun. And I saw it was at the AvCon or whatever it was in Adelaide that was featured last week as well, and you could play it and have a go at it and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
So good.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get back onto track here. St Kilda versus Sydney. Marcus Windhager's finally too good for the podcast.
Too good for the podcast.
He's qualified.
Marcus, well done, mate.
Kays was very happy.
He'll be back soon.
Yeah, I think so.
He'll be back soon.
He didn't have a single centre bounce this week, so I think he was more on the wing. Looking at his heat maps, wing halfback was where he got all his touches this week. He's only averaging 79, but I think he's pretty handy to own.
Oh God, he is like the same type of player to me as Tom Sparrow.
Yeah.
These guys he's
scoring better than Sparrow. Yeah, let's not go that far.
Yeah, that's true. But, these guys are just kind of always around the edge and they promise a lot and, maybe they've tagged so that they're around the football. So you see a lot of them on the screen, but they're never really touching the football.
Yeah.
But it's actually good to see him bounce a little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't mind it at the moment. Like I said, Kays drafted him, was very confident he'd be too good for the podcast by the end of the year. Finally got there. So
can I just tangent and just are we giving like a salute to Kays?
Yeah, 100%.
I saw on Twitter. I saw on Twitter last night that he's pulling up stumps on his fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the go is. Like he said last week, he's not really watching because I'd produce his other podcast that he does. And he said he's just not really watching footy at the moment and stuff like that. So
he's taking a back seat.
Yeah, he's got other things going on and work and things like that's pretty busy. So he said he's still keen. He'll still come on as more just like comic relief, I think, or just to wind me up and stuff like when it's probably the analysis isn't as important and you can just chat and talk shit and stuff like that. So,
I mean, these guys that have been around the fantasy circles for such a long time and, you follow them and they become just kind of part of the fantasy tapestry. Yeah. Good innings, mate.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure what the go is. Like, I'm sure you'll be around in some capacity and doing stuff. And I know it won't be the last you hear of him, so.
Keep League Case.
Yeah, that's the one. Then Brad Hill, 111 points. I still think he's a sneaky F5 option for those contending, and you can afford to bring in an older player because you get him so cheap with how he's been performing. And
he's been having these games and these runs where he gets a lot of marks. Then in another week, and maybe it's like the Joel Jeffries situation where it's like 1 in 3. But if you can get him on the right week, it's so good.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's at mid forward status, so if you're playing him as that M5. You can take the low, the low floor because the high ceiling is there.
Yeah, 100%. So another one to think about if you're contending and you don't mind bringing an older player. Jake Lloyd with the 90 points. So this game was really weird. So I don't think he scored a point in the last quarter, and he's done this a few times now because I don't know that for sure, but I just saw he was on 90 for a long time.
Yeah.
At the end of this game. And I saw that, he did that again a few weeks ago where he scored 50 points, I think, in the first quarter, -3 in the second, and then ended up finishing on like 116 for the game type thing. And he's just doing weird things like playing forward, and he kicked 3 goals in this game
as
well. Like, I don't know. Do you think he got dropped a few weeks ago Is he in their best 22? Is he that important to them, or could he get dropped at any time? And
while Sydney are in the hunt, I think he plays.
But see, the thing is, he got dropped when they were in the hunt a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's really funny. You'll be proud of me, though. I traded for him in a keeper league last night.
Good.
So I got him and Brad Hill in. So back-to-back, we've mentioned them. For Hugo Garcia and Tom McCarthy. So, going for a premiership there.
Yeah.
You just need the points.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just got to take it. So, I don't know. The jury's still out. And I think they're going to be in contention right up to the end of the season, I think, as well. So,
just keep pushing.
Yeah. But if he doesn't get another contract, which I'm maybe thinking might not be the case, he does play West Coast in round 24.
Farewell, Jag Lloyd.
Yeah, grand final week if you play it then as well. It could be a monster.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is because it's in Perth, he might play his farewell game in front of the home
round
fans.
23.
Yeah. But I think I just think they'll have to win every game going forward. I think so. And if he's part of their finals campaign,
I love the narrative.
Yeah. So they might keep playing him. So it could be a big year. But yeah, anyway, see how we go. And then on to the Port Adelaide versus West Coast game.
Oh, God.
I left at 3/4 time. I was over it.
Oh, mate, it was painful. I put on my Instagram, I was there as well, and it was like watching an under-9s game.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Port are frustrating at the best of times. We can't kick a set shot to save ourselves.
We also just never put the ball in a good spot to take a mark to kick a reliable set shot either.
Even in that first quarter, the amount of times we kick it a metre above the leading forward's head, and just completely stuff the inside forward entry.
Yeah.
The clangers coming out of our rebound 50 that led to about 4 goals in that first quarter. Port Adelaide are broken as hell.
Now, I was actually barracking for a few West Coast players to actually just boost their fantasy numbers. Like for results I needed to go our way in the league. So that's where I was at. I can't make finals. Like I don't really care at the moment. So I just want the best thing for fantasy at the moment. You've got here Whitten Rosie with his finger. So he's going to be missing. There's something about Rosie going out with the field. Like 2 weeks ago, I saw Tom Papley. I don't mean to be parading masculinity here or toughness or whatever, but 2 weeks ago, I saw Tom Papley pop his finger out twice, put it back in, keep going.
Get back out there.
Rosie just does it and has to come off. And
who knows what's going on there? And, and I don't know at this stage, we're recording this Monday afternoon, whether he misses it. What will be interesting to see if he misses out of that halfback role, do they push Bergman back to stay in that defensive role? I think that the benefit to that is not necessarily his fantasy score, but for Bergman owners, it may save his defensive status leading into 2026.
Yeah.
Because he is on, I would say he's really on the cusp of losing that at the moment. But, a couple rounds where he has to just fill that gap could be crucial. He's
27% CBA average for the season. And when it does come to the end of the year, they do look at it over the whole year, not just like the last 6 weeks, like the position changes do happen. So I reckon he's relatively okay. But you're right. It does push towards borderline. So you think about it. If he's 27% in the centre bounce and he's probably 20% off the field.
Because there's been a bit of wing as well.
True. He's probably 20% of time just not on the field when there's a centre bounce because of, just resting and stuff like that. So there's 50% elsewhere. If some of that's on the wing, let's say that's 15, 20% on the wing, let's get into danger areas. But I still think he's around the 40% kind of mark.
This is keep him in the safe zone.
Yeah. So hopefully that does kind of work out. But also I need to win a flag, so get some more midfield time, please.
Talk about Joe Richards.
123 points. He's had a fantastic month, really. He was my stream of the week last week. He was the only one I hit, I think, this week. Came off big. But 2 goals, 3 behind, so should have kicked 5, really. Half forward roll.
A couple of dollies.
But the good half forward roll that works up the ground and works his way back, so he gets a lot of cheek touches that way and stuff like that. So
he's Willie Rioli, but he gets involved in the chain.
Yeah, correct. So hopefully that can just continue. I kind of see why we chased him so hard and offered him a probably bigger contract than Collins.
But he's from the Port Adelaide Football Club of not being able to kick the ball straight from a set shot.
I think a lot of it's to do with game plan system, being under pressure a lot when you've got the footy in your hands and stuff like that. Like I think we might see something. Well, hopefully we see something different next year with a new coach and a new game plan and all that sort of stuff. Where like a lot of these things, like Port have been like that for probably 12 years now. You know what I mean?
The entirety of Ken's run. Yeah.
And so it can't just be we keep drafting the same shit players. I don't think. I think it's got to be more to do with the way we play more than and development of players and all that sort of stuff as well. So hopefully it's we see some change and then as we see some fantasy change as well. The other one is Harley Reid is finally on the Too Good for the Podcast bubble. So he's not qualified yet, but he's had back-to-back good scores. I think he's just coming into his own now, though. Like, he just looks like a bit more mature, a bit more settled. He's not scared. Like, he's just not scared of anyone. But, like, you know, he can just take more players on and stuff like that. He was giving it to Zach Butters and all that during the game.
It was great byplay to watch. It was one of the only enjoyable things about the match.
The only thing I think is he's just going to be, like, a way better real footballer than fantasy footballer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's
falls into that club for sure. I mean, he is going to be a central focus no matter what happens. You know, there's not a lot to really, you know, talk about West Coast other than Harley Reid and his role.
Yeah.
You know, if he can get out of the habit of giving away multiple free kicks a game, I think his scoring improves.
Yeah,
so I think there's a certain disciplinary part to it.
Yeah.
Where if he can kind of clean that stuff up, he'll become a more reliable play.
Yeah, no, I think that's true as well. You get a few, probably 6, probably 8, 12 points a game.
Yeah.
If he does that sort of stuff, which makes him a lot handier than he is right now. All right, that's it for the round review. Let's get into some listener questions and we'll wrap it up. Benny Mitch wants to know, is Archie Roberts going to continue this kind of scoring with the new injuries?
Opportunities there.
Well, I just don't see how it even affects him. And he's scoring like well already. So, I don't know, like with Martin, I guess probably a little bit of halfback time there in future weeks, but like he was in the midfield before he got injured this week. I don't even think he's even affected by it. He just continues the way he's going, which is good, you know?
I think the best part about it is you can confidently field because who else is going to get the ball?
Yeah. Oh, he's been one of the breakout stars of the year. Like, he's been awesome this year. And I just think he just continues the way he's going, which is, he's an 80-plus average right now, isn't he? At the moment?
Archie Roberts?
Yeah.
80 plus.
Yeah. Is he?
Is he?
I think he is. Like, he seems to score most 80s most weeks. But, yeah, look it up for us. Let's have a look. Archie Roberts. Oops.
I've been stunned into silence here.
Yeah, I know. 86.
86.2. Holy shit.
I don't see why he's like changing like at all. So I'm not
Last
sure.
3 average of 98.3.
Yeah. So
God, I have not picked that up at all.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome this year. So
holy crap.
Yeah, so I think he just continues that going forward. Like, he's at minimum 86. You know, that's what he gets.
Shit.
Richie N96 wants to know, is Fiorini about to become a league winner? To be honest, I don't think the injury affects him too much. Like, I don't think he is the guy who comes in and gets all of Miller's CBAs.
You don't think he's coming out and getting a 130 on GF day?
I don't think he needs it to score well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I just don't think, again, like, I just don't think anything changes for him, but he still could be a league winner. If that's what you're referring to, if you're referring to just the fact that he's now playing consistently and everyone picked him up mid-season, then yes, definitely. Like, he can be a league winner that no one expected to be in the side. Just watching him on the weekend, it's like, feels like Dimmer's just finally discovered his worth. Mm-hmm. And like, he's more that he's one of the hardest runners, like hardest triers out there. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, he's just plays his part, but he plays it very, very well. And lucky for us, it's pretty fantasy friendly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tackles as well. Like, that's the other thing. He's just getting a lot of +4s out there.
If you played fantasy long enough, I've got like a vivid memory of years and years ago, Michael Riscatelli having this one out of the box, like 100 average.
I remember it, yeah.
And
the TAC, the risky telly.
And my mate, who's only won one fantasy premiership in our long-standing keeper league of like 14 years, he won it in the Michael Riscatelli year, and we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And so maybe this is all about the law. Maybe Braden Fiorini's year is 2024.
Yeah.
2025. That was last year.
That's right. we know what you meant. Hopefully that is the case. Because, I own him now. So, and he's played one game for me and scored 97.
The law is about to be written.
Major Van Beer wants to know, what role is Hutchison playing at West Coast and what is of their midfield mix? All right, so Hutchison, again, my son was being a pain in the butt and complaining all day, but he started on the wings. He was definitely on the wings early. He had 4 CBAs, but his heat map has a lot of, I noticed him in defence a lot, taking a lot of marks, but I'm not sure if he was playing there or just Port was struggling to move the ball out, and that's kind of where he got a lot of touches.
If you gave me a lineup of 10 West Coast players, I could not pick Hutchinson out of there. They are faceless men to me. I've not played enough of you yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the face. I know he's number 44, I reckon. I could be wrong on that.
40 numbers?
Yeah, 44 I reckon he is. So out there and on the wing a bit as well. So yeah, anyway, the thing is as well, he had 4 CBAs this week, which he doesn't usually get CBAs. Tim Kelly was out.
Yep.
Graham was out. bit of extra fill in there, and then he put up a decent score as well. Probably should have. I think it was. I actually don't know what he scored, but if he was over 80, I probably would have had him on the show doc. So he's probably up around the mark though this week, and he's had a couple good weeks as well. So
92.
Well, 92. There you go. Probably missed him in the show doc, but yeah. So probably one to actually start thinking about because he's had a few good weeks in a row playing on a wing, which I feel he's just needed to adjust to as well. So and he's finally starting to get there as well.
So last 3 weeks, 89 against the Pies, 47, and then 92. So
yeah, fluctuates.
That's 3-round average of about 75.
They all do that. My mate Hoff went back to 40s this week after back-to-back 80s. So that's the thing with West Coast. You're going to keep getting those, but if you can pick the right weeks when you can put them on field, best of luck to you. Easton wants to know, do we think Sard will affect Cowan's output or Doc's?
If you're Michael Voss and now with nothing to play for, surely Lockie Cowan gets as much time with ball in hand as possible. What's Adam Sard going to give you?
Yeah, exactly. Cowan's the future, and I think Doc is on his farewell tour.
Yeah,
so like,
has to be.
And a club legend, you've got to just play him in whatever role he wants.
Beautiful narrative.
Yeah.
Just let him see it out.
Again, let him get 140 in grand final week,
please,
because he's in my team, and go from there. So that's what I want to happen. That thing is, like, Sard hasn't really been playing hasn't been scoring that well when he's playing. Yeah. Anyway, I think he's in the 70s, kind of maybe even dropped down to 60s after the injury, in terms of his average. So I think he provides that run and dash off the half back, but that's not something Doc does. He's way too slow.
Yeah.
And I think Cowan's is more the kind of Nick Newman ball user type role at the moment as well. So, and they've coexisted before, those three, when Newman the side. So I think that they can coexist at Carlton as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Anonymous wants to know, Baker was swung forward this week.
I didn't mind his role yesterday.
Yeah, because he kicked a few goals right in front of where I sit, which was kind of fun to watch. Position predictions for 2026. Also, does Parker hold forward status?
What does the analysis say for Baker?
Baker will struggle, I think, just way too much defensive time. Although 16% CBA, so I reckon he's going to be defender only, just quietly. But I haven't been watching that closely either, so he has had a few games where he's kind of run forward. Early in the season, he was heavily in the centre bounce mix, but then I think it's been mainly defence. So I just don't know if you'll get enough. Like, watch over the next few weeks. I'm just not sure if you'll get enough forward time for him to keep that status. So, yeah. Does Parker hold forward? So I think Parker is very close as well, but he was like the most used player at the centre bounces this week. So
yeah, he was in the whole time.
Actually, 61%, which means probably not, because if he's spending 20% of time off the ground as a rest kind of thing, he probably misses out, unfortunately, of keeping forward status, which it makes it hard for people. Yeah, exactly. You got to win the flag with him now. And then Dong Harlow asks, why Kern not get less fat? So I think this. I think this refers to a few weeks ago when Port lost a bad game. There was a bunch of A4 paper stuck up on the Port Adelaide Footy Club sign on Port Road saying, "Why are you so fat, Ken?" or something like that.
Oh, God.
So yeah, Dongy Harlow wants to know why Ken get less fat. Not get less fat. Don't really know what he wants out of us there, but yeah, we might just leave it at that.
What do we got? Five rounds to go.
Yeah, 5 rounds to go. We got. No, 6, isn't it? We got 3 regular season games of our fantasy league, and then we've got 3 weeks of finals after that. So yeah, Hoofers have loaded up. I'm sure I'll keep you all posted how it goes over the last few weeks.
Maybe we're going to see it home. That's, DT Shiva, again, we start our 3-week finals a week before and then round up at round 23, so we can all focus our attention on our beautiful keeper leagues in round 24.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of finals going to be happening over the next few weeks anyway, so good luck to all the listeners out there.
The real mystery for me remains with 24 what they're doing with the Gold Coast Essendon fixture and how that's going to stuff things up in terms of how that round completely plays out and whether it'll be resting. And
well, I think from a fantasy perspective, I think keepers already said the Gold Coast Essendon one won't count. Yeah. But like, when do they play it? Do they play it the Monday or do they play it Sunday night?
On Wednesday.
So does that mean when we get to that Sunday night and there's a game on, the fantasy scores aren't counting? And do they play the week before? Do they play?
That's right. Do Gold Coast and Essendon have to play the Thursday night?
Or do they play a Wednesday and we get a double loophole? Like, because we do lockout on Fridays. Like, do we get 2 loopholes?
This is why I moved the Shiva Grand Final a week earlier. Just clever. Because of all the implications that something like that could have.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're coming into round round 19.
We
and
got no idea.
Still don't know.
Yeah.
Is a real mystery to me.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's a bit crazy, but we'll have to play it by ear and see what happens. But anyways, anything you want to plug? The Shiva Blast?
Mate, dtshiva.com.au. If you are getting to the end of your year and you're thinking, do you know what? I want to expand here a little bit. I want to meet some like-minded people. We've got 828 coaches worldwide doing Shiva. It is, for the most part, a great fantasy community, except for that one guy who accepted the Nick Martin trade after he was injured. But no, we are looking to grow the community and the pie and just being this kind of redraft space as the Keeper League podcast and the Keeper Leagues are for the keeper coaches out there. So yeah, check us out, dtshiva.com.au or search DT Shiva on Facebook.
It is a great community. You got the Facebook group, you got a Discord as well. Just my league, we got the group chat that kind of pops off a lot as well.
I love groups that just come together.
It's good fun. And even though I think I've met maybe one of them before, but even though we don't really know each other, it feels like you know them all at the same time. So it's great like that. So it is a great product. And as well, if you're just looking if you don't have a draft league to play in, like I was talking to actually this is a good plug actually. I was talking to Andy Munro, the Guernsey collector during week. He was really upset because he had Nick Martin captain and he was close to a hat territory in fantasy and it's just season's over. And I said, and he's just like, oh, well, now just don't have to worry about fantasy. It's kind of good. And I'm like, no, you need a draft or a keeper league team to see it out. So maybe we could get a marquee signing, Andy Munro, on the Shiva.
Bring him in.
Maybe we'll try to get him in and he can plug it for us as well. So yeah, I might pass that on to him. But get around us at Keeper League Pod on all the socials. keeperleaguepod.com.au is the website with all the resources and articles and things like that. If it's within your means to support the podcast, please consider signing up as a member. Keep this thing going on a weekly basis, but also get access to all the premium resources and stats and stuff up there, which is handy for a lot of coaches.
None better.
If you sign up now as well, you get access until this time next year, which means you'll get all the preseason stuff.
Love that.
That's where I do my best work.
Oh, mate, the preseason stuff is where it's at. All the, who are the draftees, where you're going to draft them.
I think this year, the big draw card was a lot of the tools that I made. So like the rankings tools and I made a new ranking system where I did contending ranks, rebuilding ranks, all that sort of stuff.
So deep down the well.
Top 400 players to pick up, all that sort of stuff. I'm working on another ranking tool that I think will make life a bit easier for coaches as well. Bit of an upgrade on the community rankings, but that'll be the off season to work on that. And
between the tools that you have and the platform that we have with Keeper Fantasy, like the fantasy coaches are eating well.
Think about how far we've come.
Oh, mate, unbelievable. Hey, mate, look at this TV.
Exactly. Anyways, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks once again, Damon, for joining us. And for everyone else, we'll talk to you next week. See you later.